Welcome to Fantasy Football Today, presented by Subway. It's now time to refresh your rankings and give you the busts that you need for 2021. I hate using that word. I think it's more like players we want to avoid, players you don't want to draft. You know, obviously cost is going to matter, but I mean, a guy can still play well. He just may not live up to the expectations that we have or some fantasy managers have for him. So I just hate the word.
You're being
bust.
Nice about this.
All right, these guys suck. All right, let's go now to the players that we're trying to avoid. All right, so Heath, you're up first, and you got some headliners on this one, man. You got Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts, and Leonard Fournette. So,
two headliners.
Allen, well, I mean, look, Leonard Fournette was a playoff champion. Lombardi Lenny. It's hard to get past what he did for the Bucs, but a little bit different for fantasy managers. But I think Heath, a lot of people see Josh Allen, see Kyle Pitts, and they're interested in those guys, but cost matters, right?
Oh, yeah, and you look at CBS ADP, and we talk about it a lot of times, quarterbacks are going earlier than we would take them. But it's not totally true when you look at someone like Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson around pick 50. Josh Allen's going 3 rounds before those guys. He's going now 18 picks before the number 3 quarterback, who is Lamar Jackson, 19 picks before Kyler Murray. I have Josh Allen as QB3. I'm not saying that he's bad. I do think the most likely scenario is he's going to regress a little bit from last year, just like Patrick Mahomes did, just like Lamar Jackson did. We had them as busts after their spectacular breakouts because they were first-round picks. Now Allen's a second-round pick, and no other quarterback besides Mahomes is being drafted really in the first 3 rounds consistently. You should not pay that price. It is not very likely he's that much better than Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, and Russell Wilson. And then Pitts is kind of the same thing. I'm so excited about what Kyle Pitts could be. But he is, for now, still a tight end. And he has to have the greatest rookie tight end season ever just for you to break even at this ADP. For him to make a profit at this ADP, he's going to have to basically be a wide receiver. And that's possible. I don't think you should draft him at the 4 or 5 turn, especially not ahead of Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson in this situation. So it's just a cost thing with Kyle Pitts and a history of rookie tight ends in the NFL.
It's certainly debatable with the other 2 guys. I think Andrews, as long as the Ravens' wide receiving core is so banged up, it's hard to say that Pitts will be better than Andrews. Hawkinson, you can argue because, look, while I'm optimistic about Hawkinson, Dave, you had him as one of your breakout players. It's still a situation where he's playing with Jared Goff, and he's playing on a team that's probably going to be miserable, whereas Kyle Pitts is playing with Matt Ryan, who is a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback, and has featured 2 guys at times, whether they've been healthy or not. We've seen it with Roddy White and Julio Jones. We've seen it with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. He can get 2 guys into a lot of productive situations with Kyle Pitts. But the cost for Kyle Pitts, I still go back to that draft we did with other fantasy analysts. I'm not going to say the person's name, but that he was drafted in the 3rd round. Like, people get so excited about Kyle Pitts, and I'm as excited as anybody. I mean, I watched the guy play at my alma mater for many years. So it's enticing, but I think, again, just pump the brakes a little bit. Still take him as a top 6 tight end, even if you like him 4th.
Right.
But just dial back that he should not be close enough to the other 3 where he's getting drafted like, not Travis Kelce, but more closer to George Kittle and Darren Waller. Calling Leonard Fournette a bust, though, because where he's being drafted, that I have a little hard time with.
Well, there's 12 running backs being drafted after him that I would rather have than him. He's being drafted in round 7. I don't think he's going to be the
round
starter.
7's too high.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be the starter. I think Ronald Jones is. Ronald Jones is being drafted at pick 106, 23 picks later than Leonard Fournette. And I don't really think either of these guys have huge upside because of Giovanni Bernard. They have done nothing but sing his praises, whether it's the beat writers, whether it's Bruce Arians. They've said he's going to have a big role. We know part of the role he's going to have is the passing game, and that was really the only edge that Leonard Fournette had on Ronald Jones last year, that he could block and that he could catch. Now he's probably not going to do those things. And so I see an early down split between Fournette and Jones. There will be weeks when Leonard Fournette ends up in the doghouse and Ronald Jones is a very good running back. There will be weeks when Ronald Jones is in the doghouse. Fournette's a good running back. I don't know that we're going to know before that happens, when it's going to happen. Bernard's really the only Bucs running back I want to draft, and he's still available in round 11.
But that's more PPR. Obviously, not PPR.
Right.
You're taking Leonard Fournette over Giovanni Bernard. All right, so your bust, Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts, mostly cost-related there. Leonard Fournette, same thing, but clearly a crowded backfield for the Buccaneers. Want more of the Fantasy Football Today podcast and nonstop year-round fantasy advice? It's simple. Hit the subscribe button and hang with us all throughout the year.